A Snorlax Stall deck just won the Poland Pokemon TCG Regional Championship with almost 1,000 Masters players, and people are already asking for a ban of the card. Why and how was it able to win? And how can you beat this annoying deck? I will answer all these questions in this video.
If you want to support the channel, you can use code tablemon to get 5% off at Pokemon Store for your online codes, 10% off for your sealed product at Flipside Gaming, and 10% off on your aluminum accessories at TC Evolutions. Or if you're looking to buy singles or sleeves, you can fill up your cart and close the tab, then click on the affiliate link in the description and check out. That way you can support the channel over at TCG Player, Card Market, and Dragon Shield. ¿Eres de México y necesitas cartas de Pokémon? Busca Hyperbeam Cards en Facebook e Instagram. Y si estás en Tijuana, búscalos en el local C27 en el Centro Comercial Otay.
Lucas was able to take down the whole tournament by using this unorthodox strategy by making sure their opponents couldn't retreat with a block ability from Snorlax. His finals opponent was so annoyed at having to play against it that he simply decided to not even try after losing the first match with his Manaphy trapped in the active and the single escape rope exhausted already.
Big numbers needed.
Here we go. Gonna be a draw for the turn. Here's a Silene. Let's see some coin flips.
Oh,
well,
it's heads.
Well, that's sad.
There you go. There's a heads and a tails.
It's gonna be Palpad. We'll restart the calculus.
Well, Joe. We've got time to play with here. As you can see, 45 minutes left in this final.
Do you want to play some noughts and crosses? I've got a pen.
I mean, look, we've got to give them the respect.
Here we go!
And that's it. The lock has begun. Erin recognizes it, knows that it is impossible to win this game.
For Wukash.
Well, thankfully, none of the other prizes look too worrying there.
The boss's orders was in there, but yeah, nothing else too dangerous. That's the only thing. It means that we can't access everything.
I like this from Erin, forcing Wukash to go first.
He had his natural Battle VIP pass. He plays one copy.
One?
Yeah, you just Arven for it. Or just have it in your opening hand. And that's it. We see a concession from Erin.
My
sparing
goodness.
us the time. Wukash is your Gdansk regional champion. He blocked everyone in his path and he got the victory.
In today's current standard format, there are a lot of Pokemon that can be trapped by this ability, such as Manaphy, Jirachi, Luminion, Squawkabilly, Flaffy, Rotom, Comfey, and others. After they're trapped in the active, all you need to do is wait it out until your opponent decks themselves out. Even though this might seem like an unappealing way to win, pretty much every format in existence has had these sort of cards or decks based around not letting your opponent play the game the way they want to. Going all the way back to Neo Genesis Slowking, even though the card was completely mistranslated and should not have been as broken as it was. More recently, in the Sword and Shield era, we had a Mewtwo v Union stall decks that used super regeneration over and over to heal damage off in a format where 200 damage seemed to be the maximum. And they employed a similar Pokemon to Mimikyu, Miltank, in order to fully protect from the powerful Pokemon V of the format. And in the Sun and Moon era, we had the extremely powerful Resource Management Oranguru, allowing players to recycle powerful cards like Crushing Hammer and Enhanced Hammer along with Mars to disrupt opponents' fields and hands. But you might be wondering, how did these Pokemon get trapped? Can't you just not play them down? Well, the Snorlax deck uses a combination of cards like Erika's Invitation, Echoing Horn, and Counter Catcher to continually change their opponent's active Pokemon into something that isn't threatening you. It seems like Counter Catcher was a missing piece for Snorlax decks, as the deck did make an appearance in Toronto Regionals before Paradox Rift was released, but now it has had a fair share of Day 2 appearances, along with a top 8 at LAIC by Japanese player K2RI, followed by a win in Poland and 2 top 8 appearances in Brisbane in the same weekend. But you might be asking yourself, what if your opponent plays a lot of switching cards? Well, the answer is, Snorlax has a hefty 150 HP, which then gets increased with Bravery Charm to 200 HP. In order to KO them consistently, you will need to use resources to power up Pokemon and apply pressure, which is where Snorlax thrives by finding a way to trap something that doesn't threaten it. In case of emergency though, the deck does play a copy of Mimikyu, which with its Safeguard ability prevents Pokemon EX and Pokemon V from damaging it, and decks like Charizard EX have a very hard time dealing with even one of those. Rotom V is the deck's engine, and its instant charge ability allows the Snorlax players to be able to find the necessary cards to employ their strategy and disrupt opponents' plans. Alongside ways to promote non-threatening support Pokemon, other ways the deck has to exhaust opponents' resources are Misfortune Sisters, which can sometimes discard some of the Switch, Escape Rope or Switch cards your opponent might be playing, and Sydney to help discard cards like Path to a Peak and Jet Energy. The final piece of the Snorlax puzzle is Pidgeot V, which allows the deck to never deck out by going back to the deck indefinitely with Vanishing Wings ability. So now the good part. What can you do against such a deck? Have you already played against it and decided to immediately concede to not have to deal with it? Or are you trying to learn more about it and see how you can adapt your deck to beat it? Well, here's a few options for you to consider. First off, the deck does have bad matchups, two of which Lucas actually lost to in this tournament run, Mew VMAX and Miraidon EX. Mew VMAX is especially strong, as it can 1-KO Snorlaxes whilst disrupting their hand with Judge and stopping Rotom V with Path to a Peak. Most Snorlax decks can't recover after that, and the deck usually plays 2 to 3 switching cards on top of this as well to get out of the lock. Even Mimikyu isn't a big deal thanks to Max Miracle ignoring Safeguard. Miraidon EX has a couple unique attacking options such as Zapdos from Pokemon Go, which can apply pressure every turn, and Mew EX, which can use genome hacking to copy Snorlax's own Collapse or Mimikyu's Ghost Eye. There's another deck which really enjoys getting paired against Snorlax, Giratina V-Star. However, the V-Star rarely features in the match, since Giratina V is the main attacker. It can use a Beast Seeking to find resources and slowly power up to a Shred attack, which both threatens Snorlax and also can get past Mimikyu's Safeguard ability as well. There is also the very specific Minior Tech card, which helps unlock any Pokemon that might be trapped in the active spot, as well as do significant damage to Snorlax thanks to its hefty retreat cost with Gravitational Tackle. The key to beating Snorlax is to be very careful with your switching outs, as well as applying pressure continually whilst using the least amount of resources possible, whilst having enough damage output to pressure both Snorlax and Mimikyu. Even though it might feel otherwise, the deck does have a finite amount of penny to continually heal Snorlax, and eventually they will run out, allowing you to take KOs. Now this is all easier said than done, and Snorlax will surely remain a big threat in the Paradox Rift metagame in the foreseeable future. Now that the deck has played so well in the first 2 weekends since Paradox Rift has been legal for tournament play, you have to imagine making sure you can counter the deck will be on everyone's mind, and that is usually the worst time to play the deck as people will be most likely directly teching for it. Are you ready for Snorlax, or is it blocking you from having fun with the metagame right now? Let me know your thoughts and make sure you like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and until next time!